Hello 3-4S and welcome to week 3's preview video. Remember, with these videos the idea is that we're looking at this week's content, so you already know it before we learn it. So you're able to answer all the questions, you already know it, so it's not difficult for you. You should be watching this as many times as you need to throughout the week. So remember, practice makes perfect. The more times you do something, the better you'll get at it. Hopefully you can come to school and ask questions about it, so you're already looking further into it. And there's going to be some questions at the end, so you can hopefully study this a bit, answer some questions for your opportunity for some dojo points. Okay, what we'll be looking at this week in grammar, we'll be looking at adverbs. In our literacy, we're still looking at our procedure, and we're going to look at how to write our method. We've done the first couple of parts, but we're looking into method writing this week. Maths, we're just going to finish off our 2D shapes by looking at symmetry and our lines of symmetry. Hizzy, we're going to continue on with our topic of national parks, and the same for science. We're going to keep going with our simple machines. We know our 6 simple machines, and we're going to look into how they've changed over time this week. So if you've got a great understanding of these concepts, before we actually learn them, you're already going to know it, and it's going to be very easy for you in class. So let's get started. We'll start with adverbs. So adverbs tell us how a verb is to be done, and this can be helpful to us to better describe our methods in procedure writing. So when we're writing procedures, our methods, they're telling us our steps as to what to do. Adverbs are these bold and underlined words here at the start of each sentence that tell us how to do our verbs. Now we know verbs are our doing words. So here they are here. Stir and pour. They're the doing words. And if I wanted, I could cover them up, and it still could be a sentence. I could still have stir the mixture for 2 minutes. That's okay, because stir is our verb, it's our doing word. We want to stir the mixture for 2 minutes. But what adverbs do is tell us how a verb is to be done. I could have quickly stir the mixture, slowly stir the mixture, carefully stir the mixture. What have I got? I've got, gently stir the mixture. So it's a bit more information in describing what a verb is. And it's adding that more information for the reader to get that better understanding of what to do. So I could do it with the second one. I've got pour the milk into the mixture. Oh, that's fine the way it is. Pour, is our verb. It's our doing word. Pour the mixture into the milk into the mixture. But how do I add more information to that? How do I pour the milk into the mixture? Well, that's what our adverbs are. They are slowly pour the milk into the mixture. It could have said quickly. It could have said in part pour the milk into the mixture. So that's what our adverbs are. They tell us how a verb or a doing word is to be done. I could say, if I had a verb like run, and I said run over there, I could add an adverb at the start, and I could say quickly run over there. So that's our adverb. It tells us how our verb is to be done, giving us more information and making our writing better. So that's what adverbs are. Looking at procedure, yes, we know by now a procedure is a fixed step-by-step sequence of activities or actions which need to be followed in order to make something. And we know these are normally with cookbooks or just making things like paper aeroplanes. They tell us someone who doesn't know how to do something, that someone maybe doesn't know how to make a cake, we can give them a procedure and it tells them exactly what they need and how to do it to make a cake. So there are a couple of parts to a procedure. We know in the green we need a title telling you what you're making. We need a goal, which is more detailed information about what you're making. We need some ingredients, which are the food or liquids that you might need to go to the shop to buy. We need an equipment list, which is stuff from the kitchen that you might use, like the toaster or the oven, or some spoons or a bowl or a whisk. What we're going to be looking at this week is the method, this one here in orange, method. And this is the accurate steps in order to make the item. So this is where we put our numbers, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and up to however many we need. But it tells us the steps to do in order to make the item correctly, that we need to follow. Because remember, we're looking at a procedure and we don't know how to make it. You know, someone else might not know, and you've got to tell them exactly what to do in order to make the item. And that's what we're going to be looking at. And finally, you need a test. How will you know you have done everything right? We'll look at that next week, but this one we're looking at this week, the method. Accurate steps in order to make the item. So what does this look like? Well, after we've done our title and our goal and our ingredients and equipment lists, then we have our method, and this is what it looks like. We have our numbers. Remember, each sentence needs a number, because this tells us the order in which we are to do it. We don't come and do this one down the bottom first. We don't do this one in the middle. We do number 1 first. And it shows us exactly what to do. So here's it. Place the cup onto the table. So yep, I know to get a cup and put it on the table. It says slowly, using an adverb, slowly fill it 2/3 the way with milk. Okay, I've done that with my cup. It's still on the table, but now it's 2/3 of the way full with milk. Carefully, another adverb, place 2 teaspoons of Milo into the cup. Okay, I've done that. Then gently stir the mixture with a spoon until Milo has dissolved in milk. Noticing I'm always using adverbs at the start of my sentences because I'm telling you how to stir, how to place, how to fill. And last one, carefully place the teaspoon into the sink. Okay, now I know this has probably not got all the detail that it needs, but I just want you to get understanding of our methods, our numbers, and they tell us step by step exactly how to make what we're making. Moving on to maths. We're going to finish off our 2D shape topic that we should have finished last week, and we're looking at symmetry. Now symmetry, this is the word here, this big word here, symmetry, is when one shape becomes exactly, and it says exactly, like another if you flip, slide or turn it. The simplest type of symmetry is reflection or mirror symmetry, as shown in the picture of my dog Flame. So this is the dog here. So this is the reflection. It's like looking into a mirror. If we put a line down the center of the page, we can see that both sides are exactly the same. So we've had this dog here called Flame. If we've put the line down the middle, and we can see it's exactly the same on both sides. So we can do these with pictures, we can do these with shapes. I've got a square here, and I've put a line down the middle, and that's our line of symmetry because it's exactly the same on both sides. I could probably find another line of symmetry. I could put a line this way, and I can see that side and that side of that line is exactly the same. I could put another line this way, and I can see the top and bottom are the same. I can put a line this way, and those sides are the same. So I can see a square has 1, 2, 3, 4 lines of symmetry. Same with a circle. We can look at a circle. I've put a line right down the middle. Both sides are the same, so it's got 1 line of symmetry. And I can do lots more with a circle, but that's when you're looking at symmetry. It's looking can you put a line anywhere on that shape where both sides are exactly the same. That's what symmetry is. It's like a mirror. Are both sides exactly the same if I put a line down the middle somewhere? That's what we'll be looking at for maths this week. Looking at our national parks again, we didn't get to do this last week because of the concert, so we'll get into it this week. National parks are areas of land that protect certain parts of our country. So like native plants and animals and their habitats, we protect them so they don't go extinct. Places of natural beauty like big waterfalls maybe. Historical heritage like maybe a very old building that's got something historic about it, so we can say that's a national park or area. And Aboriginal cultural heritage. So like Uluru, big places like that, we can say that's a national park and no one's allowed to build on it or destroy it. So we've got a couple of things like that, sort of like national parks. We've got our Blackbutt Reserve where we've got our animals and it's all bushland where we're not allowed to go and build houses in. And the same with Glenrock State Conservation Area, which is almost near the beach. You're not allowed, there's nice bush tracks there, but, it's for the environment, it's for the wild, to protect certain areas of land. So these are our national parks. So you might want to know an example for one of our questions earlier. We've got Blackbutt Reserve and Glenrock State Conservation Area. And that's what we're looking at, national parks. Places in our community which help protect the land or an animal or habitat in the land. Looking into science, we continue on with our simple machines. We know our 6 simple machines. Hopefully you can guess what this one is. We know our machines help us do things. There are 6 simple machines. You should know them. But we're looking at this week is how our simple machines have changed over time. So do you know what this simple machine is here? Should be able to guess it. I think it looks like the wheel to me. So we know the wheel is a simple machine. And we can see how they've changed over time. This first one here looks like it's almost made out of maybe some kind of wood or even stone, could be. And we can see over time it's gone to become a wood wheel. And then they've added some spokes, which is what these little lines are here, called spokes. So it's maybe a bit lighter and easier to move. And then it's come down here over the times and it's gotten maybe a bit heavier. And then they're starting to make them out of metal and steel. And they've got rubber that looks like a car tyre by now. That one looks like an olden day carriage. And now they're getting very fancy and shiny here. So you can see how the wheel has changed over time. It does the exact same thing. I'm sure this was put on some type of car or carriage pulled by a horse, but it was still pulling people from one area to another. And that's what our wheels do today. It still helps us move ourselves from one place to another. Like I said, it'd be very hard to move a car without wheels, but I'm sure you've seen people move their cars with wheels. They can still push them. And that's what wheels do. They help us move heavy things from one place to another. And that's what we're going to look at with all our 6 simple machines. So that's what you could probably think about. You could think of our 6 simple machines and how have they changed over time. That would be a very good initiative and you'd be very prepared for that lesson. But here are our dojo questions, which you need to write down nice and neatly on a piece of paper without their numbers, nice and neatly so I can read them. And you can have 1 dojo point per correct question. So question 1. Add an adverb to this sentence. So I've got a sentence here, stir the pot of soup. And what adverb could you put there to help describe this verb? How is this verb to be done? Stir the pot of soup. What adverb could you put there? Question 2. Why do we write a method in a procedure? What's the point of writing a method in procedure? Why do we need it? You might need a sentence there. Why do we write a method in a procedure? Question 3. How many lines of symmetry does a square have? So we know what symmetry is. You might need to go back and re-watch this part of the video that's about symmetry. You might need to draw a square and draw in the lines of symmetry. But how many lines of symmetry does a square have? Question 4. Name 1 national park in Newcastle. So what's one example? I thought I had a couple of examples there, but maybe you might come up with a different one or one of mine. But name 1 national park in Newcastle. And question 5, how has the wheel changed over time? So what are some things that have changed about the wheel? I had a picture there and it went around, but how has the wheel changed over time? You might need 1 or 2 sentences with that one for a correct answer. How has the wheel changed? What about it has changed? Has it changed in materials? How has the wheel changed over time? Okay, good luck with those 3, 4S, and I'll see you in class.